And we are live. Hello everybody, good morning, good afternoon, happy time zones wherever you might be. I'm Emma and welcome back to the House of Hubris here at twitch.tv/Saracent. And welcome back to Vampire the Masquerade Swansong. I gestured as if you can see the title, you in no way can see the title, but trust me, that is the game we're playing. I think this is certainly the building we're in, if not the room. Yeah. So, first of all, sorry for the slightly late start. One of those days, technical problems all over the place with all different kinds of tech, myself included. And yeah. Annoyed about missing Saturday's stream, but it was murder. I could not sit in this room for 3 hours. Just wasn't gonna happen. It's still warm now, but it's not the murder it was then. So yeah, we're back. If you were here the first time we played this, you would have seen me do a lot of reading and explaining the entire concept of Vampire the Masquerade. A thing that I am trying not to nerd out about too much and repeatedly failing. We are playing as 3 characters and swapping between them seemingly at random. Got MM, Toreador, club owner, very stylish because Toreador. They pronounce it Galeb, which I don't like, because, I mean, he's of French extraction, so it should be Galeb, surely. Similarly, they say Galeb Bazori, and it should really be Bazori, but anyway, I'm not here to argue linguistics. I am absolutely here to argue linguistics. X to doubt on trying. Look, just because I'm not good at it doesn't mean I'm not trying. Yeah, and we're at the Prince's offices in Boston. There is a Code Red situation, and honestly, we did very little story progress because I was reading the entire Codex, of which there is a lot. Like, a lot. Wait, and see, distracted by chat, I didn't mention the best character, Leisha, Markavian, doesn't have many memories, works security, it seems, has a daughter named award-winning pop sensation Halsey. I like to think that's her full name. And I've just noticed that Leisha and Halsey are anagrams of each other. So now I'm beginning to doubt whether Halsey is even real. If I've just spotted the twist, go me. Also, I think we were about to have an awkward, as Imam, about to have an awkward conversation with our ex. Again, I don't remember things. And that was the other thing before we start. Thanks for the 32-month resub from Charities Lady. That is... It hurts my brain, the fact that I've been doing this that long. How? Let's get into this before my brain explodes. But thank you, seriously. Boston Court is in turmoil, Code Red alerts have been issued, which means a major crisis has occurred. Imem, Leisha, and Galeb are summoned by the Prince. And I will continue to pronounce things what I see as the correct way, because I spent 5 years doing a French degree and thus I'm allowed to be this annoying. And her hair loaded in slightly after she did. Oh wow, we have like no willpower. Oh yeah, the screen's wibbly because we've got all specs on. Shall we talk to our ex? That was what we were about to do. Hello.
Why is she keeping us at arm's length like this?
So, what exactly did Hazel want with
Hilda, that's it. Tell her she doesn't need to know, and we do not have the willpower to make something up. Yeah. This is a Camarilla court. We don't do free information.
I'm sorry, but this is between Hazel and me.
I can't believe it. Don't you see what she's doing?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Hilda, calm down.
So what?
We haven't heard from anyone at the party all night.
Oh yes,
Many
Johnny
of our
was
own didn't
running a
make it
party,
home.
and
she's
it's
still reigning through division.
become a whole thing.
She's doling out information strategically. It's the worst possible thing to do in a crisis.
I've forgotten how
And we
unsettling
didn't
some of
even
this facial
mention how
animation
she treats
is.
the Primogen. She straight out refuses to see us.
Oh, yeah. Hazel's in her next cycle of the Primogen all hate me, and they're scheming against me, so I'll install a new council of Primogen who don't hate me, and then give it a few decades, and oh look, all these Primogen hate me, I need to replace them.
What's your problem? Is it that she's not talking to everyone?
Oh, I thought that meant...
Or that she's not talking to
I was
you?
saying, is the prince jealous, not is
She should be trying
Hilda...
to surround
Oh my
herself
god.
with everyone's input, not locking herself up in her tower.
Oh, because you would do things differently, perhaps?
That's an understatement.
It is. You would have kept me in the dark.
Could you just stop making this all about you?
That's right. I'm the problem.
Wasn't
I've
aiming
gotta
for this
go.
to be a
I've got stuff
massive
to do.
argument, but
Be careful.
I guess randomly bothering your ex often has that. Where's my... Do I have, like, a journal? I have new things in my codex. Oh, the word child. A vampire created through the embrace. The child is the progeny of their sire. This term is often used derogatorily, indicating inexperience. Did I ever read Journey's page? Oh, yes. The violins at Kalashar. All of that. Implicitly had an affair with a ma'am. Cool. So yeah, where's my... Do I have, like, a quest log? Quest log. Quest log? Quest log. Sure don't. I'm sure there was a button to press to see objectives. Can't remember what it was. But I know we were going upstairs and we were about to break into somebody's offices. Oh yes, because we're following this scent trail of Journey's scarf. That was it. Look, I don't remember things, even if I don't miss a stream. Ah yes, breaking into Jara's apartment. Ah, with the little "there's no turning back" icon. Yeah, okay. Q to show goals, okay. We're getting there, chat. I've broken into somebody's apartment, so let's just start touching things. Okay.
Way. Shit.
Kinda.
So this
What?
is where you've been
Oh,
hiding.
Jesus, it's you. You scared the shit out of me. How did you find me?
You're really bad at covering your tracks.
Are you alone?
Especially
What the
from
hell is
somebody with a
going
whole
on?
one dot in
It's a
Auspex.
fucking nightmare. The code red is definitely because of the party. April told me Hazel was gunning for me. She thinks I'm responsible for this shit show.
So, you're hiding in Rory's room?
I'm looking for evidence. I saw that Jara had...
Oh yes, yeah,
It's got
fell on the
all
party was
contracts and
disappeared.
documents that will prove I did my job right. But I can't find them. It was my only shot to defend myself against her.
Again, she here is being very vague, so are we telling Journey to calm down? Or, I mean, sure.
Hey, slow down. It's gonna be alright. They
Doubtful.
don't have anything on you, do they?
Probably.
No, of course not. I did everything right, ma'am. I was the one who rented the place. Same as always. Rooftop, away from prying eyes. I met with Richard to organize the vessels. I arranged for limos to be sent for the Hartford Chantry.
And
I
then the
went through
Tremere
the
happened.
Same secure limo agency as usual. They're ours, so there's no risk. What the hell could have gone wrong?
Just guessing the
I
Tremere
don't know,
has something to do with it,
But
because they
there's
usually
no time
do.
to think about it. Hazel wants to see you.
And she asked you?
Decisions, decisions. I mean, we could, we can say we never found her. Because, like, the one incentive the prince is giving us is, well, other than I'm the prince and I say so, is I'll make you part of the new Bromden Council, which she has a very poor track record with.
Listen, honestly, you'd better get out of here.
What? What are you talking about?
Confrontation. You must fight to convince the other person. Oh good, I have 1 willpower. The result of a confrontation has an impact on how the story will play out. A confrontation has a certain number of stages. The number depends on the goal. Each stage ends with either a win or a miss. Maximum number of misses allowed. If you exceed this number, you lose. 3 misses allowed. Okay.
I can't just run away. Do you know something I don't?
Yeah. Really would be good if I had any willpower.
I talked to Abigail. She heard some nasty rumors about you.
They're accusing me based on nothing at all.
Yeah?
But I know the prince. She doesn't believe rumors.
Okay.
Let's say Hazel doesn't want to hurt you. Others could change her mind.
Who would? Honestly, who would stand to gain something
Oh my god, this would require me to remember the story. April? Just, I mean, same clan and all, so it'd have some hierarchy positioning.
I don't trust April.
What makes you think she'd want to hurt me? She's my boss.
Precisely. Because she's your boss. You're the reason the prince is now unhappy with her. Do you think she's gonna back you up when she's alone with Hazel?
Okay, right.
No, you're right.
Thanks, ma'am. If you win a confrontation, you must make it to the final stage and win. In case of a miss during the final stage, it's repeated until you win or lose. Okay, that's a
What a bitch.
interesting system.
If I run, people will think I'm guilty and that I want to leave the Camarilla. But you can't leave the Camarilla.
Yes, we can.
I mean,
I know people
you
who
wouldn't be
can
the
help.
first person.
Anarchs. Don't underestimate them. They've held out against the Cam for a long time now.
Do you realize what it would mean to really run away?
I just know what's gonna happen to you if you stay here.
But if I leave, they'll call for a blood hunt.
I mean, not necessarily. Ah, I can talk about this for no willpower. Love that.
I know it's risky, but...
No, really? I could lose my head, literally. You know how it goes. If I run, Hazel will unleash all the licks in the city on me.
See,
They'll
you were already
destroy
saying
me.
Lex, you'll fit in with the
The
Anarchs.
Anarchs could hide you.
Do you think so?
Okay, I have no willpower to do any of this with. Oh no.
You have to believe me about the Anarchs. I
Source,
know their
trust me,
leader,
bro.
Saul. I've seen her help people in situations like yours. It's your only chance.
I could stay.
And be destroyed? Listen to me.
Okay, sure, cool.
Saul
Did it.
can help you. You can do
Who needs
this.
willpower?
How do I go about this?
Entry updated.
I'll go back to see the prince. That'll buy you some time. Don't waste a second. Don't go back to your office. You have to disappear right now.
But what about you? What are you going to say? You're risking everything for me.
Don't worry. Hazel has nothing.
I'll
on
say you ran away,
You're
because you
going
did.
to the Anarchs. I'm going to contact Saul. She'll
I
come
have
and
new
get you at the
codex
club in
entries,
Masquerade.
oh no.
Is it just me, or is this not the first time you've done this?
I don't think we've got time for that.
You're right. We're doing this.
Goal failed successfully. Thought somebody invisible was just going to fade in. There's always a NOS. Aha! Now we have our choice of how to level up later. Make our own mistakes. Put a dot in everything. We can get compel. Yeah, I got an achievement just then for wait, cost 0? Oh wait, do I already have it? brain. Yeah. Yeah, I got an achievement there for winning a confrontation without using disciplines. Unless I missed something, it did not give me the opportunity to use a discipline, so... You get Mask of 1,000 Faces for 1 dot in this? Neat. And Ghost in the Machine 2. Neat. I mean, in a dialogue-based game, Dominate does sound handy, but also ethically questionable. Have a point of mental. Yeah, I'm going to take another dot in Dominate. And 20 XP left. Take the stat up. Can't afford another dot in one of these, so... Point in social, I guess. And that's my lot. Yeah, because one of these is 45. Okay. I guess. Let's do that, sure. Also, we had new codex entries. I have to look at those when I get a second.
Leisha, it's good to see you.
Yeah, that child is 100% not actually real.
Be good, sweetie.
How was your reunion with Halsey?
Thank you, Hazel. Your gift was wonderful. You shouldn't have tried.
Or...
You're welcome.
There's
We
something
should
going
never
on
have
here.
kept you
Not
apart
totally sure
this
what it
long.
is yet.
Good evening, Delsin.
Good evening, Leisha.
Yeah. I didn't know
How
neither
are
of
you
them
feeling?
looked
I
at
feel
Halsey.
great. Better and better since I got my little sugar fangs back.
Wonderful.
I haven't seen Richard yet. Does he know I've been released from the Institute?
No, I'm the prince. It was my decision.
So when
He
you're
is
the
your
prince, you can just
psychiatrist.
do
But
shit.
you don't need his permission for everything.
He wasn't at the party, was he?
I'm searching for everyone who's still missing. Don't worry about him.
Thank you.
Leisha, I know I can be frank with you.
Hi, Frank.
For 4 years, I have been working to heal the city's wounds.
You've already helped me avoid traps in the past.
Sure.
That was a long time ago, you know? I can barely...
You've helped me to foil conspiracies, make the right decisions for the domain. You're not like the other children of Malkav. Quentin
Oh
King
god,
knew
don't
that.
not like other
The Mad
Malzels.
King. I remember, yeah.
I had you released from the Institute because your premonitions are the most detailed, the most accurate. I wanted them to help me understand the Chantry's hand more clearly before we signed our agreement with them.
What kind of
But
maniac
this alert
says what
changes
the
everything.
what we need
I
here
need
to solve
to
our problems
understand
is
what's
more
just happened.
prophecies?
Did you
They
sense
never
something,
help.
possibly about what happened tonight?
That's not open by lying to the prince, I guess.
I saw images, but they had nothing to do with this party. It didn't make any sense. It was a long, white hallway.
It's a little early for sure, but it's a good start.
I'm
Which means it's a
sorry,
little early.
I can't be of more
Surely
help.
premonition should be early. That's what
There's
pre means.
something else you can do for me.
Otherwise, they're just
Your
munitions.
discretion can still be of use to me. I need to be sure that none of the members of my council are going to take advantage.
Of course
this
they are.
situation.
You're a... Time limit. Ooh.
You don't trust them?
You're a cam court. Everyone is going to be trying to take advantage of every
You and
situation.
Delson are the only two people I trust entirely.
One or
The
both of
members
us is
the
going to
council
betray you.
have their
Cool.
council lodgings here. It gives them the impression that they have power, and it means I can keep an eye on them. I'm going to give you the key. Go and see if you find anything that could make me doubt their loyalty. Anything that might make
All
me think there's
snooping
something
today.
in the works.
All right.
Miss Drury burned the midnight oil to make sure this event was secret. I imagine there might be some evidence in the information she gathered. I need it.
All right. Consider it done.
You've never disappointed me, Leisha. Please don't start today.
Until then, I hope to have found more information. But above all,
That's a
don't
really
share
weirdly
what we've
phrased thing.
discussed with anyone. I don't need more gossip.
Can I take Halsey with me?
Of course.
All right then. I'll be right back.
Again, nobody looks at the child. Just a vibe I'm getting. Oh, was that meant to be the obfuscate effect from a kind of internal viewpoint?
Damn it, I don't believe it.
Oh, well, that whole getting out without anybody knowing about it has gone well. Was this beforehand? Yes, okay. She's only got one dot in Auspex, she'll be fine. Creepy child was there all along. And then we had a moment. You know when I said more prophecies never help? Well, let's have more prophecies. Is that like a quarantine tent? Was that a Sabat sword? Or just the Camarayang?
That was intense. I have to be careful.
Trade gained, introspective. Love trades.
Shit. They're gone.
Well, that's what happens when you have me
Mom,
clicking
I'm
give
going
into
to
premonition.
Richard's to see if he has my teddy.
Okay.
Come and find me when you're done.
Let's see if Hazel was right.
Let's read the codex is what let's do. Also, what does introspective give us? Cheaper next level up in Auspex. Neat. It said Journey's thing was updated. Ah, yes. Recent events pushed Journey to take drastic decisions to preserve her own life. On a member's advice, Atkins chose to join the Boston Anarchs. Despite her trepidation due to this sudden change, she hoped to free herself from the clutches of Hazel Iverson. English! Brain! Hazel Iverson and her lackeys. Also, here we have Jara Jory. Pictured nowhere. Let's go. Jara was originally from Vis, a small fishing village off the coast of Croatia. 8th generation? 1801? Nice. Arriving in Boston in 1841, she left behind a life of misery and prostitution along with her sire, whom she was careful not to let get wind of her departure. Her natural distrust of other kindred pushed her to settle in the city's sewer system, where she aspired to an unlife of solitude. Sadly, it took only a single mistake to be discovered and brought before Kurt Dench, one of the most influential and intimidating Nosferatu in the region. Much to Jara's surprise, Dench was disconcertingly transparent with her. He spoke to her of his allegiance to the British and New England, and shared with her his intention to establish a vast Nosferatu spy network throughout the area. She was enamored of the idea, because Nosferatu. After a long period of observation, Kurt officially inducted Jory as an agent. She would spare no effort, and stepped up her ingenuity to meet Dench's expectations. In particular, she managed to infiltrate a pocket of anti-British resistance, the Kindred of Liberty, and went as far as to integrate herself with their primogen. This dual identity allowed her to pass on invaluable information to the British colonists, which they used to tighten their hold over Boston. This fruitful collaboration awakened feelings in Jara that she thought had died out long before. feelings for Dench, whom she so often worked with. Despite his unfriendly demeanour, Kurt was an honest man, straightforward and dependable, a man who Drory realised she had much in common with, though she dared not take the plunge. 15 years later, Kurt would do it for her. Flash forward, 2008. The fall of... They keep referring to the fall of London being in 08. I thought canonically it was in, like, between 2010 and 12. And I've played it on stream and owned the book. I should probably know this. The fall of London rocked the British colonies in America. Jara was unshaken and maintained her cover. While, in the shadows, the network of Nosferatu tightened its ranks, Kurt disappeared. Thinking at first that he was on a long mission, Jara looked to her peers for answers, without success. Weeks turned to months, then years. With the beckoning taking the British leaders away, Jara abandoned her dual identity and firmly integrated herself among the Americans. She took advantage of her purported involvement in the fight against the colonists to gain access to the primogen of the city's new prince, Hazel Iverson, who made Jara her chief of security. Jara may have changed her allegiance, but her heart still clung desperately to Kurt, whom she still hoped to see return. Something deep within her kept her from giving up. In the meantime, Jara does what she must to survive, and drowns her loneliness in work and excess. Mood. Also, she has so few dots in anything. Why don't you have obfuscate, for one thing? New things in the Codex. Anarchs. The Anarch movement asks every vampire the question, why do you obey? As old as the Camarilla, the movement has finally been thrown out of the tower as an unacceptable threat in dangerous times. The result? War in the streets. New blood feeding new collectives and baronies, and inevitable purges. As many Anarchs march under black banners as red, and as many again just want to keep their heads down and figure out who their next meal is coming from. I like that line, as many march under black banners as red, because, like, even if you don't have a grounding in kind of leftist infighting, it gets that point across, but if you do, then you know these people. I know these people.
Did Jara leave anything behind?
Snoop, 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 snoop. And, oh, yeah, we already read that. No, go away. No. Look in the drawer after you open it. Don't just immediately close it. Okay, guess there's nothing interesting in there. Picture of someone. Maybe Kurt. Piece of paper. Yes, I would like to read the piece of paper. Why else would I look at the piece of paper? Jara, I would have liked to give you this bond that you've been waiting for so long, but I can't bring myself to condemn you to my situation. Don't be afraid. I will never abandon you, Jara. Never. We're bound together forever. We're one since that first night, that first instant. Nothing can ever keep us apart. Promise. Okay. So that almost certainly is Kurt. Can I poke this photograph? Nope. Why did you not give me a take a look at this photograph button, game? Bedroom snoop times. Weird seeing the emergency and first aid kit on the wall in a vampire's rooms. I mean, I guess. Where are you? The time has come. Wood equals arrival. Love me some caves of wood.
This thing's old. Does she still use it?
Typewriters are fun. Straighten up the shelves. Thank you for giving me this function. What is this red book?
A log with a list of everything that was checked for the party.
Ah, that's exactly the evidence people would need.
Rentals. All from our network. It's journeys. That could be of interest to Hazel.
That's exactly the thing Journey was looking for, and it's bright red on a shelf of black things. It wasn't that hard to see. File on the Unification Party planning, containing all the documents that prove Journey did not neglect safety. And the master key to the Primogenine's apartments. Like, that seems like a very dangerous thing to give anybody. But especially me. I know that it was so I could find that clue, but also I just like that it gave me the straighten up the shelves thing, because it's me. Weekly close protection reports, 2019. Subject, Mr. Jason Moore. July week 1, reports submitted by Mr. Wu. NSTR. Like, nothing strange to report, I guess. Night visit from Mr. Hazel Iverson. Really? I mean, I know she's using Prince. Okay. Is that a typo, or does Hazel have some gender things going on? In which case, neat. Accompanied by Delson Coates on Tuesday. Week 2, report submitted by Mr. James, NSTR. Wife and child went to Costa Rica for 2 weeks. Night visit from Mr. Beryl Underwood. Week 3, Mr. Wu, NSTR. Night visit from Mr. Beryl Underwood 2 times, Tuesday and Thursday. Week 4, report submitted by Mr. James, NSTR, family came home. August week 1, Mr. Wu, NSTR, or NTSR. Mr. Moore wants a little more privacy. Week 2, Mr. James, NSTR, wife and child went to Costa Rica for a week. They do that a lot. Night visit from Mr. Underwood on Friday. Week 3, Mr. Wu, Mrs. Moore left again the day after she got back from Costa Rica. The child is upset. Mr. Moore has trouble concentrating. Week 4, Mr. James, NSTR, the subject must be experiencing a conjugal dispute. Probably none of our business. Right, and that was on Mr. Jason Moore. Do we know who that is? Do we have a file on him? I feel like we've heard his name mentioned. Well, brain full of holes. Anyway, let's use this wood. I could spend 6 willpower to bypass the lock, or I could just use the password that's written over there. Oh, okay. Arrival. So, when did Jara come over here? I love how I have no way of knowing that kind of in the universe of the game. I have to refer to my big book of everything about all the people, which I guess is just that Leisha would maybe know these things, but at the same time, a bit strange. Arrived in Boston in 1841. Let's try that. Boom. Conversation with Caius Leto. Good name. From Caius to me, as you wish. Learn from when he said as you wish. What he was actually saying was re Quincy Market, Ms. Drury. I've already told you about my need to investigate the Quincy Market case. I know you disagree with my theory, but an aborted attack on the Prince is not to be taken lightly. Could you please reconsider your position? So is this like the Scourge? Caius, I never reconsider anything without new evidence. If you have any, send it to me, and not on a computer. As you wish. Quincy Market case. Is it Quincy, or is Boston the one where it's Quincy? I can't remember. Miss Drury, I picked up a signal that appears to be an unauthorized outbound call. Could you come see me as soon as possible? I can give you the details. Did you try and access my computer? No, I can't imagine anyone being able to hack into your computer since you change your password every 3 days. Besides, I thought you preferred handwritten notes. That's not something I'm willing to joke about. Well, I've broken into your computer because you wrote the most obvious password hint on that whiteboard 6 feet from your computer. With the Prince. That's enough. I know you ordered my computer to be searched. You don't have to monitor me like this. What good am I to you if you don't trust me? Yes, the Camarilla famously operating on trust most of the time. Jara, if someone's trying to search your computer, believe me, the order didn't come from me. I have every confidence in you, and I urge you to have the same confidence in me. Finally, in the future, I would appreciate it if you did not make such sweeping accusations without proof. If you have any concerns, please come and speak to me. Sincerely yours, your Prince. I rely on myself to protect what needs to be protected, and I have my own ways of keeping myself safe from undue curiosity. This computer's booby-trapped, isn't it? Email to Sophia. Hartford party. Which is the party we're talking about, right? It's precisely 10 PM, I'm heading to the party, and I'm leaving Caius Leto in charge. You know the procedure, let everyone know. Have a good night. And recent secure transmissions. Oh no. Codes to know. I'm just gonna just casually press print screen here. No reason. Audio's gonna drop out a sec while I put that into the thing for also no reason. I should really have put the thing on the other page, so on my other screen, so I could look at it and the game. Well, here we are. Yes, the typewriter is old.
Does she still use it?
A hot take, all typewriters are old. Am I even meant to be looking for intel about the party? I have intel about the party. No, I don't want to look at that picture again. And there was nothing in here. Was there anything else on the computer? No, it's just these recent secure transmissions. But how do I find somewhere I can use these codes? Do I have to leave this apartment? Wait, I've got Auspex. I could be heightenedly sensing this. I'm heightened sensing some screen tearing right there. Nothing special about this with heightened sensors. Nothing special in the drawer with heightened sensors. Oh, hello. Observing detail. What?
There are traces, but I can't break that illusion. It's much too strong.
That box is actually sitting there, but just heavily obfuscated. That's actually kind of neat. Oh, I didn't see this. Hello. Information notes, as opposed to those random words notes. I say that as though I don't write those. Unification party. Oh, thank you for the stretch reminder. I apparently needed that. Summary of individual files on the Hartford Chantry. Tremere, no. Mr. Osborne, Regent of the Chantry, ambitious and paranoid, extremely skilled in thaumaturgy, favours unifications, but mentions escape routes in his private communications, to be monitored, visits the Jefferson Library once a month. Miss Wakefield, John Rice's child, secretive mind control specialist who supports Mr. Osborne unconditionally, although he continues to be wary of her because of vampires. She supports the unification to support the choice of her regent. Mr. Samuels, child of Upton Rowlands, this blue-blood Ventru member of the Chantry. Chantry isn't just Tremere. What's happening in Boston? Pragmatic, well-versed in insurance finance. He's the head of a thriving business, seems to have moved to Boston on a part-time basis, residing at the Jefferson Library. Intelligence indicates he's there to ensure the financial balance of the agreements to be signed, which he's rather in favour of. Okay. So, not really a member of the Chantry, but working for the Chantry. Mr. Fleming specialises in poison, which is not the most useful when you're dealing with vampires, I guess, and is Osborne's personal bodyguard, been on several blood hunts, recently moved to the library. I believe he is there to protect the warlocks in the event of a retreat. According to our sources, he's opposed to the agreement because he harbours a strong personal resentment towards Dajan Siaka, because he doesn't believe Tremere should wear cargo shorts. Miss Vance lived in Boston since the creation of the Hartford branch. Unknown sire, specialises in high-level protection rituals. Little information available, on account of she's watered it all, presumably. The party will be her first outing from the library, if she accepts. We need more time to research her background. Mr. Woods, child of Deneb Osborne, still a great name. Resides in Hartford, new to thaumaturgy, shows very good skills in memory magic. Still under the authority of his sire, and therefore in favour of the agreement. Mr. Green resides in Hartford, child of Mrs. Wakefield. Nothing to report. Embraced 2 years ago, kept his family and job as a research chemist. Report indicates he is pro-unification. Mr. Chen was selected by the Chantry to come and work at the Red Salon and conduct experiments on blood stabilisation. Extensive experience in thaumaturgy, the report indicates he's in favour of the unification, but for his own interests he only feeds in blood banks. And Miss Halstead was selected by the Chantry to come and work at the Red Salon, conduct experiments on blood stabilisation, specialised in blood storage rituals. Report indicates she is rather reticent about unification, afraid to share her knowledge, suspicious of Boston. Fair. List of vessels provided by Dr. Dunham, Marvin Haney, Patricia Lane, Corey Perkins, Brian Bradford, Murray Sandoval, Robert Sigler, Richard Walton, Michelle Jacobs, and Vernon Kennedy. I wonder who they are in the real world. And intelligence on the Hartford Chantry. Hashtag Premiership. In the 17th and 18th centuries, the thaumaturges were influential throughout New England, but they also experienced dark times, seeing their power erode over the years, primarily due to the encroachment of Sabbat members from northern and western New England during this period. Some elder Tremere believe that at least one of the major convents allied with the Sabbat bring about their downfall, though few agree on which of the three major convents is the most to blame. If in doubt, blame the nuns, I guess. The loss of status suffered by their entire family is a wound that still runs deep today, and has led to their great dislike for the Sisters of Salem. Operating primarily out of a chapel in Hartford, the thaumaturges have had an ongoing competition with the Ventry coteries for dominance in the state, and have been quick to exploit any opportunity. Thus, when the Prince of New Haven and Hartford came to them for help in the early 1900s, they graciously accepted. Wisely, they've not yet recalled the debt the Ventry owe them, but that's likely to happen soon. Indeed, as a result of the unification agreement with Boston, the Chantry will greatly increase its political and economic clout over the Hartford domain. Within the Chantry itself, prestige is highly prized, and competition within the upper echelons of the hierarchy is so fierce that more thaumaturges are lost to internal strife than to past clashes with the Sabbat, again at Tremere. This is largely due to the fact that Tremere, but also Deneb Osborne, despite his understanding behaviour, jealously guards his position, Tremere, and makes it impossible for his apprentices to progress, Tremere. Whenever a warlock seems to be on the verge of unlocking a new mystery, they're often replaced by a less talented one. Idiot Tremere. Today their Boston branch is mysterious and impenetrable despite our best efforts. We think it would be wise to require a visit to the Chantry as a sign of trust. Our intelligence reports numerous disappearances of mortals in the vicinity of the building, which, fortunately, have gone unnoticed. Well, not by us, clearly.
This is what Hazel asked me to bring her.
Cool, found it. Right, so I guess I would have had to have more dots in Auspex to break that. Dang. It is a bit weird that you only choose what you're leveling, like, before the levels, and you don't know what kind of challenges will await you. It's an interesting game system. Do I mean good interesting? Hard to say at the moment. From here, are we getting a lot of screen tearing when I move? Do we have more VSync I can give it? More VSync? Any VSync. Cool. Didn't have VSync. That's better. Okay. But we're also categorically not just going back to the Prince now, right? We have to go and nose around in all the other Primogen's apartments. Key.
Nobody here. I'm going to be able to take a look around Dijon's.
Okay, somebody start a timer. How long until we touch something warded and get our hand burnt off? He does look like a man who would own a saxophone and keep it in a glass case. Yeah, that all tracks. Weirdly, the newspaper is the only thing I can interact with here.
The Salem Gazette.
Salem Gazette, September 4th, 2019. The City Council has found a new home for the Sisters of Salem at the Salem Library in recognition of the organization's work in sharing and supporting our local history. While many know of the groups thanks to the annual organization of their Hallowmas and the Mighty Dead and Martyrs celebrations, what's less well known is their implication with people in need throughout the rest of the year. That's... yeah, were the developers of this French-speaking? Because have implication used in that way feels very French. They host newcomers to the area, troubled youth, and older citizens who are isolated. The Sisters of Salem have an extensive network of volunteers, and they are joined by about a dozen new members each year. Our community should be proud of the unity and mutual support shown by all of our fellow citizens, from their participation in the celebrations to their participation in the social and cultural volunteering done by this organization, declared the mayor after the city council meeting. And she was also very proud to announce that her spouse had joined the Sisters of Salem the previous month. Inauguration planned for tonight at the Salem Library, by invitation only. So, are we talking male nuns or sapphic mayor? Both are good. The two genders, male nun, sapphic mayor. Just leaf through these books in the Tremere room. Guardian Ravens, equipment cauldron, ingredients are raven, corn, raven droppings, and corn straw. I mean, yeah, those two pairs of things that come together, really. Blood magnet, silver bowl, and blood. Concealment, knife, candles, fresh bird's blood, skull, white candle wax. Illuminated trail, candles, white salad, and ribbon, and have seen the prey beforehand. Can't go underwater or across the body of water. That is always a fun ritual for your storyteller to deal with. And restoration, candles, skull, own blood, sacrificed animal. Well, now we know how to ritual, apart from all the bits we don't know. Mess with his cards.
Tarot cards. How fun. The Emperor, the Chariot, Temperance. Easy. Dijon is thinking about taking a trip.
And should maybe be careful. Everyone only draws Major Arcana.
Just like New Orleans. This is definitely Dijon's place.
We are not educated enough to analyze this scene, but we can study the bird.
He must have done a warlock ritual.
Well, yeah. Okay, we have bird, candles. Well, what was that? Was the crocodile on screen before? I swear I didn't see that crocodile when I walked into the room. Jesus Christ. That's a concealment ritual. He's standing right behind me, isn't he? Or has he concealed something? Hello, crocodile. Jesus Christ.
A bird. Dead.
Nailed it. Thanks, Leisha. Hello? Pierce the obfuscate. Yes. Feel like leaning into a Discworld joke with the crocodile. Why can't I see what joke you're going for? I've read, like, all of those. Multiple times. And yet. Anyway, let's pierce this ritual.
Well. What have we here?
My dear sisters, I hope this letter will reach you quickly. Things are critical here. It appears we've been the target of a major incident. Code Red has been issued and we've not heard from those who'd already gone to the party our prince had organised for the unification. This could be in our favour, because it's possible that the Hartford Chantry is behind it. Although I've faithfully served my prince's interests while negotiating this treaty, these new suspicions could serve our interests in relation to a potential alliance between Boston and Salem. Rest assured that, the political manoeuvring.
But that'll be enough for Hazel to make up her mind about him.
Reference randomly a few times to why do wizards have a stuffed crocodile in the Unseen University? Yeah, there is, isn't there? I like that. Go to Halsey or continue to poke around the rest of the dungeon. Just do it. Also, can we just have a moment for Leisha's look? It's very good. Unsurprisingly. I am a girl of well-documented tastes. What did I just take? Consumable Polaroid photo. Nostalgia, recovering memories and images of her lost past is what ultimately drives Leisha. What? It was a Polaroid of my past? I guess? Well, anyway, that's some free willpower. I was never here. Hot take, that door's too big. Hi. Oh, this is back out to the main concourse. Right. Best of the stuff. I can't heighten senses listen to anyone from here. Boo. Hi, Dodran. I've been nowhere. Can't use the elevator. Hello, you. Do I have a map? I wish I had a map. But where'd this door go?
Hazel told me to keep a low profile here. This area is reserved for the prince and her primogen.
I mean, I have obfuscate, but I can only obfuscate from a safe zone. I believe.
Hilda's in her office. She's
Oh
going
no,
to
now I
see
can do
me.
it. Unseen passage allows you to move around without being seen. In this state, it's not possible to physically interact with the environment. You may, however, stealthily read a document or examine an object. We activate automatically if you enter a prohibited location. Neat. I look all wibbly now. That's a big painting of a ma'am.
I shouldn't get too close. She might be able to sense me.
Yes, but I want to listen carefully.
Why did you come back?
Ah.
Why? Other than to show that you're doing just fine on your own. If you only knew everything I've done for you.
Are we leaving angry voicemails for a ma'am? Yep.
That she is with Hazel. I hope she'll be happy to hear that.
I was never here. Barrel Underwood. Hi. Are you also obfuscated? Either you're obfuscating or your face is on fire. I'm just gonna... Yes, sir. Miss Iverson is honoured to invite you to the Grand Unification Party in the presence of representatives of the House of Chantry. Your presence at these festivities is requested the evening of September 4th, 11 PM, 1 International Place, Boston. Our greatest respect and consideration. And I can't talk to him. Your envy is more powerful than expected at how Leisha gets to be able to open doors under obfuscate. Yeah, that's just... We needed to make this computer game playable. And it's single player. And note, dear Mr. Underwood has agreed, here is our payment. Thank you for your confidentiality. You are indirectly contributing to one of the greatest forensic discoveries of our time. If by any chance you still have bloodless bodies in good condition to offer us, please let us know. Sincerely, Dr. Karen Parsons, Boston Medical Center. So, you're trying to out us to the law? I guess? Thought that might have been the information I needed to get. Apparently not. Where are the other things? Well, good thing he didn't notice that door opening right in front of him.
The speculative news from... Oh, he's about as fun as his reading material.
Hey, some people like economics. That's a lot of identical suits.
These suits. Barrel's as dead outside as he is inside.
Excuse me, game, I demand a clue. Can you just come out and close that door? Ah, but now, if he's closed the door, can I drop obfuscate and go through these drawers?
These suits.
Insult the
Barrel's
suits,
as
yes.
dead outside as he is inside.
Now, can I have multiple saves? Don't believe I can. Great. And in any case, I've just realised we've been going for an hour already. God. So, I need to take a short break, run some ads, do all those good things. And when I say good things, I mean, yeah, capitalism. But also I need to get some more water and stretch my legs and get outside this room for a minute, because even though it's not murder hot like it has been, it's still quite hot. Yeah, recommend all of you do the same self-care things. Have a drink, have a snack. Get up, move around, take your meds if you still need to, this is a reminder. And just generally try and keep yourself safe and sane in this heat. If you can, you know, let the ads run, much appreciated. But otherwise, I will be back in a few minutes when we will continue to snoop, and I will hopefully be able to turn Obfuscate back on. Alright, love you all. See you in a few. And I'm back. Hello. Right. Is there anything I can poke now that I'm not obfuscated? Thought that was an interact prompt. I think it was actually just a reflection in the decanter. Why does this room have so many decanters? How many decanters does your room need, Beryl? Under pillows. Nothing? Really?
These
Nothing I can do with the suits, but...
Barrel's as dead outside as he is inside.
Oh, wait, I was talking. Let's... Also, why are you just standing in the middle of your office, my mans? You have so many chairs here. Take a load off. What's that over there? Aha! Piece of paper. Dear Mr. Underwood, here's the report you requested. Attached you'll find all the documents I was able to gather. Unfortunately, I was unable to collect much useful information about Miss Fang's time in China, but it may not have been the most interesting period of her life. A fairly typical education, exactly what would be expected of the upper class. What's a little less expected is that shortly after her arrival in the US, she was admitted to the economics department of MIT. This was in large part thanks to her publications on the blue economy. Can we know what that means? Which led her to join the Diora Ratification Project in the Indian Ocean. Whatever that means. At the same time, she defended her dissertation on blue biotechnology. You can't just say blue thing, which I recommend that you read in its entirety. You can imagine that someone of her ilk was highly sought after. She was wooed by major multinational companies before she even graduated. However, she refused all their offers and instead founded her own startup company, Newman Fang Blue Tech. Just blue everything. From one round of fundraising to the next, the company quickly became a reference for any group that was looking to make over their image to appear a little greener, or possibly bluer. If you browse their website, you'll quickly realise how important many of their clients were. As for the more confidential information, I learned that several governments, in particular Luxembourg and Canada, recently reached out to her. For the moment, it's only a matter of advice and informal discussions, but the speed with which she's broadened her influence is highly impressive. My conclusions regarding her are the following. She is brilliant. One might imagine that she's an idealist, but while her actions do seem to me to be guided by an ideological perspective, she's extremely pragmatic in integrating herself into the upper echelons of society. What's more, she has true business acumen, as her startup is one of the most successful in the country. You have every reason to take an interest in her. I can set up a meeting with her if you'd like. Your eternal servant, Jason Moore. Right, this is who Jason Moore is, yes. Is he his child or his ghoul? It probably mentions it. Speed read time. It does. Why does he not? Why does Beryl not have an entry? Am I going mad? I looked at that. Oh, I can. Oh no, that's the prompt for talk to him, which I can't do while invisible. Much as it would be funny. Can't even try. But how get information? In the words of Iron Maiden's The Prisoner, we want information. And yes, I know that I say in the words of Iron Maiden's The Prisoner, it is literally just a sample from the TV show The Prisoner. You were talking a second ago, why are you not talking now? Maybe I can only hear you from the other room? Yeah, good to know he doesn't care about that door in front of him opening. Whatever. I'm just gonna say it. Hot take, but I think TVs can be too big. Maybe that's just because I haven't had a TV that big yet. I mean, I probably used to talk smack about people with multi-monitor setups, and then I tried it and it changed my life. I'm being hyperbolic, but I'm really not. Can't look at these books. Especially the one there just called Insanity. But yeah, like I say, computers, not computers, screens, too big.
The speculative news.
Oh yeah, we already looked at that and insulted it.
He's about as fun as his reading material.
Nothing in the sinks. Weird to give us access to this room if there's nothing in it. I don't get what I'm meant to be doing. So it says get information from Beryl Underwood, so do we have to just uncloak and talk to him? But then we're in a prohibited area, right? But this says safe zone. How does it mean safe zone? Well, YOLO, I guess, or YOLT. Yolt. Hello.
Leisha.
What up?
Restricted access means nothing to you, I see.
Not really.
Make yourself at home. Don't mind me.
Hi. Yeah, okay.
Am I not surprised?
What doesn't surprise you?
For you to turn up at a time like this.
The prince had me released.
Of course, she needs you. I'm guessing she sent you to spy on the council.
I have a better chance of doing it with persuasion. But even maxing out, I still have a 0%.
What do you mean?
Tell me, do you remember the last time she pulled you out of your musty hole?
I don't remember things. That's kind of my deal.
Don't remember, do you? You're still having those little memory issues, it seems. And I suppose Halsey's here too.
Yeah, she is absolutely a hallucination.
The more the merrier.
Don't
Thank you for addressing it, Beryl.
Otherwise...
Why don't you go out and play in the sun? And let me get back to work.
Work? With everything that's going on, Hazel will appreciate your dedication.
Get out, please.
That's all I'm going to be able to find out about him. Hazel's gonna be disappointed.
Well, what was that? Not possible, or?
Halsey's waiting for me. I hope Hazel will be proud of us.
Oh, I guess if I'd had those extra points in rhetoric or persuasion. Goodbye. Okay, so looks like that's all the Primogen I could spy on. Now I have to go and find my totally real daughter. In Richard's office.
Richard's apartment.
Fine. Richard's apartment. Stop correcting me, game. Selection of totally cool art to have on your psychiatrist's walls. Finally, we get an entry on Richard Dunham. Member of the Primogen. Okay, he is a vampire. Good. Embrace 1897. 10th generation, sad a bit more. Child Halsey. Who are we side by? We don't know. It didn't mention that on Halsey's thing. Interesting. To preserve the Masquerade, Richard declared his death in 1902 in Zurich. He moved to France, because everybody in this game has lived in France for a while, where he continued practicing psychiatry in a number of hospitals under the name of Dr. Richard Dunham. In 1920, he relocated to the lunatic asylum in Bron, where he met a young French patient who would serve as a catalyst for a revolution in the way he viewed his psychiatric research. It was in order to save this patient and her daughter, his most precious research subjects, Leisha and Halsey, that he arranged their departure for the US in 1939 at the onset of World War II. The Malkavians, in exchange for his services, aided his escape to Boston, where they held a powerful domain. Upon their arrival, Richard boasted of his research to Quentin King, the Malkavian prince of the city, and introduced him to the two patients in his care, Leisha and her daughter Halsey. The court was just as fascinated as he was by the abilities of Richard's two patients, and in particular Leisha's visions. Her gift allowed the three of them to benefit from the interest and protection provided by the prince, who saw Richard as the greatest psychiatrist of all time, the one who would usher in the era of the children of Malkav. Now, I love Malkavians, and identify very strongly with them, and thus it is with all the love that I'm like, yeah, that's a very Malk thing to do. This psychiatrist I have just met is the greatest psychiatrist of all time! Did he do you one favour? Yes! All time. In 1950, Richard exhibited his psychiatric research on the resonance of vessels, which earned him the support and recognition of his peers. He experimented on the vessels using chemical cocktails in order to significantly amplify their resonance, which is very bad. His experiments were a success under the reign of Hazel Iverson, who immediately realised the incredible opportunity this presented for Boston. If she could maintain the properties of the enhanced blood in containers using magic, she could corner the blood market and, more importantly, leave her mark on history. I mean, why is that what Kindred are worrying about? Because surely if you're the prince, your concern with doing well is just staying the prince forever, and then you don't need to leave a mark on history on account of you still be there. Being bothered about leaving a mark on history is a very mortal thing. The prince gave Dr. Dunham the means to carry out his research, and began to negotiate an alliance with the Hertford Chantry to get the help for the Blood Witches. Richard, however, only looked after his own interests to advance the psychiatry of the children of Malkav. To do so, he must satisfy the prince, but he must also protect his most precious subject of study, Leisha, from the prince's ambitions. I'm noting how after 1939 nothing is said about Halsey, but there it says child Halsey. The plot she thickeneth. So what kind of disciplines is he dealing with? Whoa, man's got dots. Oh, hey, Halsey. Dear Dr. Dunham, as instructed, I've prepared the donors you listed for the unification party. They'll be ready for you to pick up at 9 at the Red Salon.
Teddy.
Shush. I think that your guests will be impressed by the quality of the vintages you're offering them, and I hope they will fully appreciate the fruit of your labours. Because if there's one thing vampires are well known to be, it's appreciative. Richard, did you design your apartment?
Heading somewhere else.
I mean, I guess Malkavian makes a certain amount of sense. Also, I swear I turned Steam overlays off. Maybe it's because it's on screen cap. Well, I'm sitting in front of most of it, so whatever. You will never see how many of my friends are playing Baldur's Gate 3. Spoilers, it's a lot. Can't open these? Oh, because I'm obfuscated.
No, he's not there. Where are you, Mr. Teddy?
Can't do anything interesting with this. Click consult. Please insert storage medium. A tub on a nice rug is a choice. Yeah, this is, to be fair, a very Malkavian apartment. And again, I say that with love. Rifle through his stuff, rifle through his stuff. Archived confidential report, not particularly archived or confidential, but sure. March 6th, unknown origin, 13 members of the court caught in sudden collective panic for several minutes. Quentin King, our prince, called for an investigation, closed without any conclusive findings in 1988 after 10 years of investigation. October 31st.
Hiding somewhere else.
Shush! Unknown origin, servants of the Primogen apartments began to hum the same song for an hour. Quentin King called for investigation, closed without conclusive findings 10 years later. 1999, October 31st, unknown origin, the servants in the prince's quarters all laughed hysterically for an hour. Quentin King called for an investigation, closed after 10 years. 2015, May 7th, Miss Hazel Iverson, our prince, reported feeling a sudden and brief mental intrusion during her speech, called for an investigation, closed, report delivered in person. So, these are all him, aren't they? Unknown origin, feeling of imminent death felt by several members of the court for several minutes. Hazel called for an investigation, closed, report delivered in person. And the 31st again, the servants in the Primogen's apartments began vomiting for several minutes. The vessels present experienced uncontrollable crying fits throughout the night. Called for an investigation, closed, report delivered in person. Interesting. Close the drawers you have meddled with. Meddle some more.
Only Richard would still use that.
Yeah, that is an old-ass computer. But we are educated enough.
It's true that he always saves everything on old media.
Insert floppy disk. We do not have the floppy disk. You cannot get ye floppy disk. Anything else in these? I doubt it. I just noticed Lacia's shoes. Very sharp.
No, he's not there. Where are you, Mr. Teddy?
You keep your floppy disks in the bathroom. Possibly.
Maybe I'll find a way to read it.
You do. Obviously. Sure, I guess.
He must be hiding somewhere else.
And look at it. Aha! It's that report, dear Miss Iverson. As per your request, Mr. Underwood came to the Red Salon to carry out a review in view of the collaboration with the Harvard Tremere. We can confirm that production can triple, if we expand operations into our basement. I think it would be wise to create a reserve and allocate only 1/3 of our production to Hartford. We will also provide a more temperature-controlled storage area for this purpose. As for your more practical questions, please do not include the formulas I've been able to work out in your dealings. Mr. Underwood also feels that we need to keep them secret in order
to be hiding somewhere else.
to keep the advantage in this agreement. We both feel that convincing them to send Tremere to Boston to perform the blood stabilization tests would be a better alternative. As for an industrialized production of more than 400 units per week, I prefer to err on the side of caution. I'm able to produce everything alone in my laboratory. Aiming for more at the start would require a move and would surely get us noticed by our suppliers of raw materials. I hope to have provided you with the missing information for your discussions on this agreement, which, in addition to the giant step forward that it would make possible for science, will undoubtedly be the dawn of a new Boston under your reign. Sincerely yours, Dr. Dunham. Okay, there's not a huge amount there. I'm trying to work out if the weird line breaks are deliberate and there's some kind of hidden message, but I'm not seeing it, so maybe it's just, I think.
Richard must have had a breakthrough, if Hazel's interested in it.
Okay. Is this... This is like a... Either a replica or just because... Or it's original because vampire money. But it's an Alexander Calder mobile, isn't it? Neat. Didn't notice all the bricks up there. There are so many. Right, Halsey, if I talk to you, will you shush? Hello, child.
So, did you find your teddy?
No, not yet. I'm not sure he's here.
Is the teddy symbolic?
Did you finish your job for the prince?
Yes, I found something that might be of interest to Hazel.
Does that mean we're going back to see the prince then?
don't think there's anything else for us here.
Let's go, Sugarfangs.
Also, with all the love, Sugarfangs, bad pet
Alicia.
name.
I'm all ears.
Everything went all right.
I knew I could count
Weird
on
eye
you.
twitches all round.
Was Halsey a good girl?
Yes, as usual.
Good. Were you able to find anything interesting in Ms. Drury's apartments?
Yes, there was intel she had gathered on the guests, including those from the Hartford Chantry.
Anything about their regent, Deneb Osborne?
Yes, he seems to be obsessed with memory magic.
Interesting.
I gave everything to Delsin.
Thank you. I'll take a look at
screen.
it later. Were you able to see or hear anything interesting?
We just give everything to the prince. I mean, I'm here to cause chaos, so sure.
Hilda was in her room. She was acting strangely.
What do you mean?
She was whispering things, talking to a picture of MM.
I thought she was on the
Touching,
phone.
but that's of no importance.
At Dijon's, I found a letter addressed to the Salem Chantry.
Did he betray me for the Warlocks?
I don't know. It just said that he's participating in your project, but that he would have preferred an agreement with Salem.
Oh, I understand his recent illusions a little better now. I'm going to need to have a word with him. Go on.
I had a vision.
I knew you would.
You seem to
What
like
did
those.
you see? Was I in your vision?
No,
I think it was me.
I was
My
in a big
forehead was
tent.
on fire.
All right. Do you have any idea what it could mean?
Not in the slightest. Are you disappointed?
The important thing
Asks
is
a
that you're
Markavian
starting
for a
that
prophecy.
mission
Gets a
together.
very Markavian prophecy. No, not like that. Let's not talk about a Merman journey, just because we played that conversation from the other side.
I also found that at Jara's, a file on the party. It's a record of everything Journey did.
That could be useful. Give it to Delsin on your way out.
Again,
Anything else?
merciful. Don't let appearances deceive you. Journey was innocent. Leisure helped prove it. Her ability to wield flattery has improved. Lost 10% success rate in rhetoric ties. Neat. Also, I'm on like 2 hunger. That feels like it should be less than 2 bars. I have an entry onto Neb Osborne now. Now there's a look. Tremere, 10th Gen, Embrace 1909. A popular magician at the turn of the 20th century, Deneb practiced his art in the most prominent galas of the US. His talent for prestidigitation took him to the old continent, where European audiences went wild for his tricks and his personality. A charming and intelligent man, his taste for illusion ultimately attracted the attention of his future sire, a young warlock from a local chantry who presented himself as one of his most staunch admirers. After a number of encounters and discussions, Deneb was offered the embrace. He accepted without a moment's hesitation. Far from renouncing his calling, Osborne took advantage of the powers that his new condition offered to expand his activities. Having completed his tour of Europe, with the blessing of his chantry, he returned to America with success and acclaim. He was rumoured to have real magical powers. He ended up joining the Barnum Circus, seeing the crowd as a cunning, discreet way to blend in while satisfying his hunger. His notoriety led him to meet one of his clan brothers, who, in the privacy of his dressing room, made him an offer he could not refuse: access to occult knowledge in exchange for his loyalty. Drunk with curiosity, Deneb agreed to abandon his nomadic lifestyle for the protection of the Hartford Chantry. He faked his death by setting fire to the circus and left for Connecticut, and probably killed a lot of people. As ever, you can bait any Tremere. You just have a box propped up on a stick and a piece of paper under it that says secrets. His first years in the Chantry proved difficult, but Deneb endured. His insatiable thirst for knowledge and his respect for the hierarchy eventually opened the door to higher circles for him. His elders were quick to notice his abilities and mastery of power plays, to the point that he was regularly able to negotiate for new responsibilities. Already on his way to a brilliant career, the beckoning precipitated Deneb's rise as one of the last remaining key elements of Hartford after the departure of the Elders. His experience and investment in Tremere affairs enabled him to claim the role of regent, which he took on officially in 2015. From then on, he devoted himself to the Chantry's development and attempted to compensate for the disappearance of his fellow creatures by apprenticing new ones. It was after only a few months as the head of his domain that he was contacted by Hazel Iverson, the new Prince of Boston. This blue blood, who had a fraught relationship with the previous regent, sought to reconnect with Hartford and integrate the Warlocks into her blood conservation project. Initially sceptical, Deneb came to view the prince's proposal as an opportunity to spread his Chantry's know-how throughout the entire region, because Tremere are always about spreading that know-how.
That's all I was able to find.
I knew I could count on you. Thank you, Leisha.
Richard still wasn't there. Were you able to find out anything else?
Yes, one of my servants just came back from his bar, the Red Salon, as that's where he does his research. I had hoped to find him there. But she confirmed that Dr. Dunham had gone to the party early with a few of his vessels. I'm sorry, Leisha.
No. If he had been destroyed, I would have felt it. I have
Because
to go
he's
find him.
my
You're the most discreet
psychiatrist.
of all of us, it's true. But we have no idea what might have happened there. It could be dangerous.
I won't be alone. Halsey will be with me.
Of course. And one last thing. Dr. Dunham wasn't the only one there. There was also Miley, my child. Bring her back to me.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll leave right away.
Yeah, that sounds like leverage against a prince.
Thank you, Leisha.
It's always handy. Oh. Each scene ends with an overview of your accomplishments, failures, and what you could have done differently. For replay value, I guess. For each success, you earn XP. We could have discovered Beryl's preoccupations had we invested in rhetoric at all, and we could have spied on the conversation between Mem and Journey, but we did have the premonition instead. We gave the Prince documents that would clear her name, listened in to hear what was on her mind, found a letter from Tijan, and told the Prince about it, and became introspective and merciful. And got 110 XP.
Come here.
That's a solid number.
I know what you're gonna say.
Go on.
What the hell just happened?
You want to know why Journey isn't with me? I'll tell you why.
Yes, please. I'm all ears.
Couldn't find her. Okay, we can say couldn't find her, but we don't have the willpower to focus it. We don't have the willpower to do any of these. So any of these will be instantly seen to be a lie. I don't have any willpower thingies, do I? Sure don't. Welp. Wonder what happens if we lie and fail.
I searched everywhere, but she was already gone. I couldn't find her anywhere.
So that's your story. I have to admit, I didn't believe you were capable of lying to me, face to face. And you weren't even able to do that properly.
No, wait.
Silence. You had your chance. Out of my sight. Go in the next room
Well,
and await your new order.
Operation Obviously Lie to the Prince went so well. Could have taken responsibility for having deliberately disobeyed the Prince. I guess. We could have done that, but, you know. We took a swing that we knew would miss, and it missed, so... Anyway, here's Galeb. Free thing. Have a dot in everything. What do our disciplines look like? We've got Fortitude, Presence, Dominate, and Sense... Ooh, we have Sense the Unseen. Why do we have a dot of all specs? Neat. Presence gives us Awe, which just lets us use Presence in dialogue. Fortitude gives us Durability, ability to withstand physical pain, available only in Exploration. Interesting. And we have a point in Dominate. What else does Fortitude give us? Dialogue power defends against the opponent's skills. Increased chance of winning by 50% in ties. Neat. And can protect against disciplines. Neat. That's not a word. I'm sorry, guys, but I'll stand for a lot of things, but hypnotyposis is absolutely not a word. I think we should just get really good at dominating. Feel free to make your own jokes in chat. So we want to point to a dot in mental to just get really good at dominate. And yeah, we don't have celerity. It's weird that physical doesn't affect fortitude, but hey. Cool. That's our build. It's perfect. We're not going back. Always forward. Never plan. Predetermined builds are for cowards. Oh hey, it's that shot.
My prince. Delson. Zori.
Also, this man is here.
It seems that the Camarilla is in danger. I am at your...
Entry out of Camarilla. We know what the Camarilla
Your
is.
sense of duty is a credit to you, Caleb. You haven't lost your touch, I hope. The Code Red is linked to the Unification Party with the Chantry. No one there is answering anymore.
Every time they pronounce it Caleb, my brain just turns everything into Skinhead Moonstomp. And if you two get that reference, why? Are you related to me?
How many of us were there?
Probably a good 20, give or take. Dr. Dunham and our top spy, Jara Drory, were already there.
We might have lost 2 members of the Primogen. What about Hartford? Have you heard from them?
If those dogs had anything to do with
I didn't
it,
recognise the voice actor for
I'll
Caleb,
cut
but
their throats myself.
very good choice of venture
Do you
voice.
think they might be involved?
I don't know. It's too early to draw any conclusions.
Is it?
Where do you want to start?
Can I count on you?
You
Sure.
have no reason to doubt me.
One by one, the Ancillai heed the beckoning and go east. You're the eldest in the city now.
Ah.
Don't do this to me. Not now. I would be very grateful to you. And Fang.
How may I be of service?
Go and see Caius with Jaragon. He's in charge of security. He may have learned something.
You can count on me.
You have my absolute confidence, Caleb.
He's a Ventru, he's the eldest vampire in the city, and he's not claiming praxis? That's restraint is what that is. And wears shoes. That was a nicely constructed shot, I'll give him that. We had some new codex stuff, I believe. New information on the cam? Oh, okay, we just didn't have this thing before. During the early Renaissance, vampires created the so-called Ivory Tower to hide the kindred from the Mortal Inquisition. It's become one of the most powerful secret societies in history, subverting and infiltrating governments, corporations, organised crime, and mass media. It's the same picture. Organised along feudal lines, with princes ruling over the vampires of a city like dark lords of a bygone age, the Camarilla combines civilized order and ruthless cruelty. John Cena voice. The Camarilla is the most widely influential organisation Kindred history has ever known. Its stated purpose is to preserve the Masquerade, an elaborate veil of deception pulled over the eyes of the living to hide the existence of the Kindred. But the Camarilla is so much more. It's a conspiracy to preserve the power of the Elders, an undead secret society influencing global business and politics, the closest thing most Kindred have to a system of government. The sect maintains a fierce moral stance on preserving humanity in the face of the impulses of the blood, seeing themselves as the shepherds of the blind human throng, simultaneously morally superior and inferior to their short-lived subjects. The sheer age, power, and wealth of many Camarilla members, and the recent exclusion of the Anarchs from their ranks, makes the sect distinctly upper class. These are the monsters that hide behind $5,000 cocktail dresses, meticulously tended stock portfolios, and havens guarded by blood slaves in private security uniforms. They are the 1% of the 1%, and they hunger for more. Their pawns are placed in banking and in Congress, making deals and passing bills. They're masters of disinformation, propaganda, and blackmail, never leaving a loose end untied for long. These nights, there is a lot of tying to do, but the Camarilla does not hesitate to lay ruin to human lives and kindred unlives to protect the secrets of their influence. A Camarilla city is run in the fashion of a feudal court, even if their gatherings may look more like slick boardroom meetings or rough gatherings of criminal cartels. The hierarchy is absolute. At the top we find the prince, a creature impressive or cunning enough to be acknowledged as the absolute leader of their domain. Below them are the members of the Primogen Council, representatives of the major Camarilla factions in the area. Whether they're clan elders or a gathering of those who hold the largest hunting grounds, they speak directly to the prince, who will do best by listening to their advice, but won't. More than one lord has been ousted by their own council. Some princes choose a seneschal, who acts as personal advisor or replacement when the prince is unavailable. When needed, the court gather in secret sanctuaries known as Elysiums, often changing locations to maintain absolute privacy and using a myriad deceptions to hide kindred affairs from mortal scrutiny. Elysiums accommodate feasts, ceremonies, negotiations, and heated debate, protected and directed by the Keeper and their heralds, also known as Harpies. The Keeper and their heralds. I mean, Herald isn't usually, like, a position under Keeper of Elysium. Usually they're parallel things because the Herald has other duties as well. One may be hidden behind the dark rooms of an upscale fetish club, another in an otherwise unused nuclear bunker hosting an upscale fetish club, a third in the Guggenheim's Brancusi collection at night when it's been replaced by an upscale fetish club. Order in the domain at large is maintained by a sheriff, gendarme, constable, or whatever law enforcement term is used locally. They're usually more hitman than cop. It's the same picture. And summary justice tends to be the norm. It's the same picture, as the Camarilla frown on modern ideas like due process. If you get dragged before the council to plead for mercy instead of chained beneath a sunroof, you've been lucky. And also we have other things. The Beckoning. A mysterious calling, drawing elder vampires away from their fiefs and fortresses. The elders are compelled to travel east towards the land where mortal and vampire civilization began, in the fog of a shadow war fought over the graves of their progenitors. I mean, they're only called east if they live in the Western Hemisphere. Not saying random Americentrism, but... And the Salem Chantry, founded in the 17th century by Madeline Coventry. The Salem Tremere Chantry is one of the oldest in New England. The Warlocks of Salem are constantly in competition with the Boston and Hartford domains because Tremere, and have long adhered to an isolationist policy, convinced of their superior numbers, and the supremacy of their knowledge because Tremere. However, the alliance between Hazel Iverson and Deneb Osborne seems to have shaken the certainty of the Regent of Salem, who sees this relationship as a serious threat to her chantry. Okay, at least we're not reading, like, an hour and a half of Codex every time. We front-loaded that. Do I have powers I can use? No.
Mr. Underwood, I'm sorry, but my instructions are clear.
You little shit.
I'm just following...
I will listen with my regular ears, though.
idea what's at stake.
Ah, steak. Hi, Beryl. My literal child.
My most honored sire, you're wasting your time here.
I'd forgotten about your abject fawning.
I call it respect. It appears that it's something that sewer rats know nothing about. Apparently, Caius feels he's
Caius is
entitled
not
to
good
refuse
to
to see a
know.
member of the Primogen. I won't forget it.
I can psychoanalyze him for a mere 6 willpower. 47% success. As opposed to rhetoric, which is 0. I'll flip that coin. Yay!
This isn't just a courtesy visit. You need him.
I have some messages I need to deliver.
They must be important. It's too bad it's forbidden.
Security is one thing, but business won't wait.
Yeah, I wonder if those
Your accounts aside for
encrypted
a
transmission
minute.
codes
The expression
will
time
come
is
to
money is
anything.
bandied about, but most people don't understand the real meaning of the phrase. I do. Tell me, you haven't introduced me to your charming protege yet.
Zufeng.
Yes, Zhu Feng. A
She.
name that's as delectable as her blood, I'm sure. Ah,
Come on,
you're
guys.
planning to introduce her to the very
Chinese
select
phonology is
club of Galen
tricky, but not that
Bazaar's
impossible.
progeny, aren't you?
Ah, now he's trying to skill on me. And I have a 0% chance of success.
I hope that the prince will allow me to, shortly.
I hope so for your sake. Who knows?
Trait gained,
the
chatterbox.
Hazel is so unpredictable. At any rate, it would be an honor for me to welcome and guide her.
You will speak of nothing with her at all.
Is that an order?
A word of advice.
Oh, pardon me. I fell out of the habit of receiving advice from you so long ago. Well, if you'll excuse me, I must end this ever so pleasant conversation. I need to find a way to avoid losing too much money.
Do you though? But hey, we got willpower back from that dialogue. Entry added, Beryl Underwood. Ventrue, 1869. Sired by Caleb. Beryl Underwood was born in Boston in 1807. His father was the head of the Sugar Trust, a business that held a monopoly in the refined sugar trade. That same year, an embargo was levied against the US in retaliation for their violation of neutrality in the Napoleonic Wars. American ships were seized and banned from trading in Europe. New England had no choice but to organize. James, Beryl's father, met a sailor by the name of Caleb Bazary, who offered to smuggle his sugar into Europe despite the ban. The two formed a bond of friendship and mutual respect, and Caleb watched the young Beryl grow over the course of his travels. Upon the death of his father in 1833, Beryl found himself alone at the head of an agri-food empire at the age of 26. Considering Caleb to be his spiritual father, he asked him to stay by his side. Caleb accepted and settled down in order to actively participate in the financial expansion of Beryl's business, providing him with sound advice. The young businessman inevitably became curious about his mentor's life and his seemingly eternal youth. Caleb agreed to tell Beryl the truth. Is it just Beryl? The truth about his nature, after which Beryl would continually beg to receive his embrace. In 1869, Caleb consented. Beryl possessed the same qualities as his father, and Caleb grew fond of him. However, his new nature suddenly robbed him of any sense of limits. Beryl was ambitious. Too ambitious. He managed to place a ghoul, William Havermeyer, as the mayor of New York City. Through this family, he created branches throughout Europe, which placed over half the world's sugar industry under his control in only 2 years. Beryl then became involved in the banking and investment sectors. Caleb would drift further and further away from his child. Underwood seemed to integrate himself everywhere, deep within governments, on the boards of conglomerates. Nothing could stop him, nothing satisfied him. Beryl was infuriated by his sire's lack of recognition. To keep hold of the secrecy surrounding his hegemony, Beryl ordered the assassination of Hazel Iverson's father, thus cutting short a burgeoning rivalry. What he did not know at the time was that he would eventually support Hazel Iverson's rise to Prince of Boston soon after the disappearance of Quentin King. Although Galeb was his first choice, Galeb's refusal forced Beryl to revise his plans, so he opted for a young woman who was both ambitious and easily manipulated. Unfortunately, the puppet turned against the puppet master, and Hazel proved to be more difficult to control than expected. Worse, she earned Galeb's unconditional loyalty. Galeb's desire to sire another child was so intolerable for Underwood that he advised Iverson to refuse him this right. Bitch? Did we read these? No.
Beryl's handwriting. He was trying to contact his associates.
I mean, isn't that basically what he said? Well, let's read them.
This is a handwritten list. These names sound familiar.
Is that...
This is a handwritten list.
That's all we're getting?
These names sound familiar.
Can't tell us what names they are?
Mr. Bazori, can I help you?
I need to see Caius.
He doesn't want anyone to bother him.
Prince's orders.
I see. He's holed up in the server room. You'll need a pass to get in. There's one on his desk.
That was it.
Thank you.
Just hold up a card that says Prince's orders and it means you can do whatever you want. 10-year report on mortal evolution and environmental degradation.
Nobody's allowed to out. I don't like the sound of that.
Pollution and environmental degradation are some of the major problems currently plaguing the planet. True. These scourges are caused by a variety of factors that adversely impact the basic functions of the ecosystem, and thus the sustainability of all life, resources, and mortal existence. True. These environmental problems, especially global warming, are currently very worrying for the future of the planet, and consequently on the maintenance of a satisfactory qualitative level of our blood supply. Took a bit of a curve there. Several phenomena are responsible for the degradation and pollution of the environment.
That's a bad sign.
Overpopulation. No. Overpopulation is, on a global scale, not really a thing. It's mostly just kind of an eco-fascist dog whistle. We have the space, we just don't use it intelligently, and weirdly, the people who talk about overpopulation always seem to think that the places that are overpopulated that need to fix that are inhabited by people of colour. Who knew? Presents danger for the environment because the increase of the population requires more building, more food, which involves deforestation, as well as an overexploitation and pollution of the land.
If only Miss Rory were here.
Production of polluting waste. The detritus and waste produced by humans are a major cause of environmental degradation. It comes from an intensive and unreasonable production of chemical products. That's very vague. This waste from industrial activities, factories and hospitals is a source of toxic emissions. Large-scale production is also a threat to the environment because it leads to air, water and soil pollution and has direct effects on human, animal and plant health. This took you 10 years? I could have freestyled that just now. Here's an out-of-focus hematology report. And warning, buy batteries.
Still nothing.
Yeah, you should do that. Oh, I'm not smart enough to read this report.
Blood tests from the Red Salon.
They say something. I don't understand numbers. I only have like 1 dot in most of my skills, despite the fact that I've been alive since like 1780. Hello.
Mr. Bazori, I need to focus.
Okay. Semi-secular report, and for those of you who don't know, that means, 50 years? Secular in a time period means century. Fun fact. On the evolution of the mortal world demography, once again all indicators are positive regarding the global population. It's doubled since the last census, which is a major bright spot. You literally have another report in the same room that is claiming that overpopulation is a thing. Come on guys, consistency. However, it should be noted that this concerns mainly the megalopolis. Megalopolises? I mean, it should be megalopolis, but I don't know. Pluralise that however you like. This is something to be monitored or even reversed by the end of the millennium. We also report another important issue that needs to be closely observed, the quality of mortals, which is starting to decline. I mean, that is true. We suck. Despite the trend towards organic and natural consumption that we've encouraged recently, the social and economic imbalances do not allow us to reverse the tendency of the declining quality of our mortals. I mean, depends how we define quality. Also, we note a quantitatively satisfactory state of our resources at the expense of its quality. Okay, so you have more humans, but they're not as good. Because modern kids, am I right? Now, is that the server room? Is that what that says? No, that says Carslito. So that's just his room.
Caius' office. The key card must
Oh yes, I need the key card for the server room. That was it. Oh, but first we can read about Caius. See what we're getting ourselves into. Oh, it's that guy. Nosferatu embraced it in 2000, but 10th generation, started by Calabros. Well, Caius was born in Brooklyn in 1957. His only memories of his modest childhood are of the time he spent taking refuge in neighborhood libraries to escape the bleakness of his existence. They say that when you have nothing in your life but books, you end up a librarian. For a minute, I could have sworn that said you end up a libertarian, and I was just like, okay, game, what point are we making? Librarian. Caius Leto was no exception to the rule. He would go from being a mediocre student to an exploited worker in one of those libraries he'd so loved as a child. A reserved and lonely man, he let people walk all over him, and stayed late into the night wandering the shelves, tirelessly sorting the books, scanning the volumes methodically. For years he expanded his knowledge in a multitude of fields, never to boast, and without a single soul to talk to. It was not until 1997 that a real interaction with another human took place. Around that time, Caius had gotten a job at the prestigious New York Public Library. The irony was that this person he found wandering the halls as night fell was no longer truly human in the same sense as him. It was the great Calabros, a kindred renowned for his thirst for knowledge, the erstwhile Prince of New York. Caius was intrigued by this character, who spoke with him of subjects that fascinated him. As for the Nosferatu, he was surprised to find in this man a part of himself that he had long forgotten. Calabros returned every night, got to know Caius, and fed on him regularly. On the first night of January in the year 2000, as the city rang in the new year, he embraced the librarian and revealed to him what had just happened. He could agree to be his child, or see his existence be extinguished. Wow, that's not really much of a choice. I have made you a vampire, now live with it or don't. Caius remained with his sire, otherwise it would be hard for him to currently be working here, who educated him about the secrets of his clan. His new way of life was not terribly different from his past existence. He adapted to it quickly. The former librarian proved to be an excellent student. He learned quickly and earned the respect of the others. In 2014, the elders began to feel the call of the beckoning that pushed them to leave one after another. Calabros felt he would not resist for long. As such, he asked his favourite child to leave New York, to find his place elsewhere. Caius obeyed him, as he always did. He went on a tour of North America's seats of knowledge. After a period of wandering, his path took him to Boston, where Hazel Iverson had just taken power. She asked him to remain in her court to assist Jared Drury, her chief of security, which Caius readily accepted. Again, not listing him as having any points in obfuscate? What kind of a Nosferatu are you? I mean, that'd be an interesting one to play, I guess. Hello.
Are you supposed to be here?
Yes. Moving on. I'm going to poke through his computer. I'm going to have to go and find his security code. Let's hope somebody has really bad infosec. Again. I didn't click examine first. Oh, that was the keycard. Okay. I don't suppose you know his password.
Mr. Leto isn't in his office.
I can tell. Are you supposed to be here? See, I can ask the questions too. I'm leaving now. But only as far as these drawers, which I will also poke. Don't mind me. Wahahaha. A doubloon. Consumable collected old coins. Denarius, florin, pound, or dollar. After 3 centuries spent accumulating wealth, Caleb has formed a special bond with money. It's no longer a symbol of power, nor a means to an end. It's a part of him. So, the way our 3 people are regaining their willpower, Emem has to think about jazz. Leisha looks at old photos of anything, and Galeb has to just feel money. Possibly eat money. It goes away after 1 use. Oh, hello, the ad's about to start. That's fun. So I should probably do that instead of waffling here. We'll get back and talk to Caius in a few minutes. I'm going to go and run some ads, get some water and all of that. All of you out there, you know, do the good self-care things. Have a drink, have a snack. Take your meds if you still need to. And, yeah, go and say hi to a person who isn't me. I will be back in a few minutes. Let the ads run if you can, and we'll carry on doing the vampire thing. And I'm back. Apologies for the slight delay. I was once again waylaid by quiz admin because sometimes that bomb just drops on you, and you've got to deal with it. Also, was that all there was in the safe? So I just spent 6 willpower to pick up an item that would give me 5 willpower. Cool game! Anyway, let's look at this old coin. Okay, so he's not just hidden his password somewhere nearby. Ah! Mark Nightingale eliminated, Janine Jones okay, Clara Fitzpatrick eliminated. Do I recognise any of these names? Sure don't. But I said Nora Jones. The vampires are, to my knowledge, not coming after Nora Jones. Can I read the post-it? But the clues are always on a post-it.
Security has been increased to the maximum. I've never seen anything like it.
And yeah, I'm not nearly good enough with tech to hack this. Well, maybe we can get Caius to tell me it.
Are you supposed to be here?
Yes, we've been over this. Yeah, the cupboard's here I can poke at. Nope. Guess I'm just going to go and see Caius. I'm back. Wonder why they all have, like, respirator masks in here.
Nobody's answering there either.
Like, do they need it? Is there some kind of air quality thing going on in the server room? Or is it just because Caius wanted his personal people to look cool? These are my engineers. They must look goth.
Nobody's allowed to go in or out. I don't like the sound of that.
The interview room with the eerie red light. So by interviews we mean, like, enhanced interviewing, let's say.
Transfer in progress.
The prince wants this floor under surveillance. I'm carrying out orders.
We all love just following orders.
Please keep it down.
I thought that was them just falling over. No, it was the door closing.
Crimson Oaks? I've never heard of them, but Caius is interested in them. He has a whole file on them.
Suspect activities. Quincy Market. Crimson Oaks could be behind the aborted attack. Cape Cod Jellyfish seem to have an exclusive backer recently. Octo Market. Several deliveries to a new group in town, according to Octo. Jacqueline Strauss, one of her Quincy clients, mentioned the Crimson Oaks several times. Frenzy surveillance. Several abandoned buildings were recently used as temporary havens by a group of individuals. Did I just... Oh, I think I may have just clicked hack and spent some willpower without noticing. Great.
A list of ingredients and side effects.
What a nightmare.
So who are the Crimson Oaks? You said they went in the Codex. The Codex. The Crimson Oaks. Shadowy organization that's difficult to trace. Great. Crimson Oaks have recently been involved in several plots that targeted the Prince of Boston. Not a huge amount of information. Thank you, Codex. Let's move on. Hello, Caius. Can't go back after talking to him, so I guess, yeah, there would have been another way to hack his computer.
No news from our assets?
No.
Ah, right, now we can analyze it.
No, it's fine.
Dijon wanted to warn us about the Hartford Chantry's favorite rituals. He doesn't trust Deneb Osborne.
Tremere!
A list of ingredients and side effects.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't see anything that could give us his passcode. Well, guess that's a thing we could have done, but didn't.
I imagine she sent you. Finally, some good news on this shitty night.
What's the situation?
Not good. Not good at all.
The prince needs more than that. I hope you've got it.
You want details?
Is it me, or just in general, do the men have better facial animation in this than the women? That's odd.
Tell me what happened.
Everything was going as planned until 11:10 p.m. The prince's child, Miss Sellers, contacted me. The Hartford Warlocks had just arrived. That's the last time we heard.
The Hartford
from
Warlocks
any of
are my favourite
Less than 20
NHL
minutes later,
expansion
we
team.
received the code red just as we were leaving to join them.
Who sounded the alert?
A man named Wu. Ever heard of him?
Sure haven't.
A retainer, one of Jason Moore's bodyguards.
Moore, the asset manager. What was he doing at the unification party?
Managing
He was
assets.
supposed to answer technical questions about the financial viability of the agreement. Moore is good at hiding our kind traffic.
Okay, so Moore is a
He's one
god.
of them, after all.
And you're the one who received the code red, personally.
It arrived directly here. It's authentic. I verified it.
Source, trust me, bro.
Anything that could be of interest to the prince?
I'm working on it. Jara Drury is the expert, not me. If only she was here.
I mean, she isn't. It's
Any
weird
movement
how
with
the
the
dialogue
animals?
choices are always in the
As
third
usual,
person.
They're keeping their distance. You know it's always a pain in the ass to locate them.
Any word from Hartford?
Do you think it's them?
It would be ill-fated.
I knew we should
What does
never
that
have
mean?
trusted those damn
Galab, what does that
warlocks.
mean?
Any sign of Jara?
Nothing at all. And that's not good. According to the protocol, she should have been there early. If they
Well, she's probably dead.
first in line.
Source, I don't have a model for her in the Codex.
There's one thing we haven't considered. The Crimson Oaks.
I mean, I hadn't heard of them until 5 minutes ago. Ah, but now I have.
They were behind the Quincy Market attack, weren't
Okay,
they?
they're saying Quincy.
I don't have any proof.
Is it the one in Boston that's
Just
Quincy, or is that in, like,
Finlod who wanted to trap the prince?
Jersey?
And who told us about them. Apparently they're new in town, but Miss Drury thinks he's giving us the runaround.
Did you look into it?
I tried, but I didn't have the resources to discover anything else.
Leave no stone unturned.
Yeah, it is the Boston one that's Quincy.
Hello.
Come on, could have got some local voice actors, I guess.
It's about damn time. Shit. What? You're... Hello? Damn it! I lost them.
Who was it?
Whoa. Shit. Now it's just ringing.
What did he say?
The party was indeed attacked.
I mean, we'd come to that conclusion.
Apparently it was a real bloodbath. He and James had just enough time to get more out. They're stopping by
How many
his
more?
place to pick up some sensitive documents.
And then what?
Apparently it's
They
dad
come
joke
here.
day.
I don't know. We got cut off.
Call him back. I'll inform Hazel.
Man, so you're not nearly cool enough to be called Caius Leto. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, in the last
This
break,
is
I
a critical
kicked the
moment
fan
for
up
us.
because it's not...
I have summoned you here tonight to organize our reaction to an imminent threat.
Just, yeah, while I finish my train of thought. Yeah, it's not murder hot in here, but it's still really quite hot in here, so I have kicked the fan up. If y'all can hear it on the microphone, please let me know.
What threat exactly? We've got no reason yet to
Call
think...
her off again and I'll slit your throat.
Oh! Excuse me!
Careful, Hazel.
How dare you speak to me like that?
Enough! I command you to be silent and listen to me.
Oh, so that's how it is.
That's enough, Beryl.
I mean,
Yes.
this
it's
is how the
come to
hierarchy
this.
is meant to work,
You
yes.
would do well to listen to your side.
Like, it's not a good system, but if you're going to
Just
be in
been
it...
attacked. This is not a time for childish displays of discontent. Caleb, the code red was sent by Wu. Go to Moore's and find out what's going on.
As you wish.
And bring Moore back to me. He was supposed to
How
be
much
at the
more?
party.
I'm going to keep doing
I
that.
don't understand why he's the only one who was able to call us.
I mean, I imagine the rest are very dead. That's typically the way of it.
He might be involved in this, so gather any documents you can find there that could tie us to him.
Very well.
Delson, see if you can get Caius to find us a
Also,
new
whenever they say
middleman
Delson, I
like
keep thinking they're saying
to manage
Delcine.
our interests. I don't want to take any chances. Then,
Yoga.
I want you to talk to everyone. Somebody must have seen or heard something. Dejan, make sure all our defenses are in place.
Yes, Hazel.
You will go to the old Jefferson Library.
What's there?
That's where the Hartford Chantry calls home here. I gave them the building so they could have a base in Boston.
I demand to take her place.
Request denied.
What game are you playing, Hazel? It's a suicide mission.
Then why are you volunteering for it?
I'm not made of sugar.
She's not ready for this kind of mission. I should go with her, at the very least.
No, you will remain here. Mem goes alone.
Why don't you send Dejan instead?
Enough, Hilda. Dejan has work to do elsewhere, and I don't need to explain myself.
Hazel, if anything happens to her, I'll...
Nothing, Hilda. You'll do nothing. It's high time you learned to trust her.
Which one of us are you planning to send to the party?
She's already left.
What?
So, Leisha goes to party, the left goes to get more.
A few hours ago, she was snoozing behind locked doors in a psych
Mem
ward.
goes to the
You're playing a
library.
dangerous game, Hazel.
Look, they're the protagonists.
You would never have come into power.
You've chosen
Tritagonists, I guess.
to turn your back on us.
On the contrary, I find this moment very appropriate. I am the Prince of Boston, and you are the Primogen.
And a few other people who are also here.
Delson, escort them out. The session is adjourned. You all have your...
Also, once again, why is anybody surprised? This is what princes do. I swear I turned those notifications and especially the sounds off. Ugh. Although, come to think of it, that may have just been on the previous computer. That's fair. Yeah, discovered that Caius has investigated the Crimson Oaks. That's it. Learned why Beryl wants to see Caius. But we are chatty and as such have a worse success rate in intimidation ties. Yeah, I guess we did just kind of, hey, you want a secret? Have a secret. Ooh. Now we can choose who we want to be. Splits up. So, Imam's thing, After the code red was issued, Hazel mobilized all her resources to try and understand the situation and assess the extent of the danger. Unification agreement is in danger. Faced with mounting doubt and suspicion from both sides, Imem must meet with Deneb Osborne to clarify the situation and ensure that the alliance still stands. Galeb, all contact with the individual who issued the alert has been lost. Galeb must go to Jason Moore's home to find out what's happened and bring Moore back to the Prince. And Leisha, Prince allows Leisha to go to the scene of the party to investigate. Leisha hopes to find her psychiatrist Richard Dunham and Miley, the Prince's child, at the scene. Okay, interesting that we now get to choose which branch we take. And the answer is, of course, the best one. Okay, so we've jumped ahead a bunch on the timeline. Thank you for the stretch reminder. Oh, yeah, my neck thanks you for it. Let's go. Okay, so now we get to do our leveling. 115 XP. I mean, I think we should head for we can afford getting to Premonition, and that's like her whole thing. And I get psychometry on the way. And that was exactly how much I had. Truly, it was meant to be. Please stop giving me achievements that go biddly bib.
Have you ever been here before?
No, this place is a rental pumpkin. It was just for the party.
Oh. Do you know what happened?
No. That's what we're here to find out. But we have to be very careful. Do you remember our rules for when we go out?
Yes. I become invisible and don't touch anything.
And it will be as though I'm not really there.
You can walk around as long as you don't stray too far.
And if there's any sign of trouble, I wait for you outside?
That's it. We make a great team, Sweet Fangs. The police are here.
This would have been a great time to put a bunch of points into Dominate or Obfuscate. And for my daughter to weirdly clip.
Yes, Mom. I'm a big girl.
Okay then. Where are you, Richard?
Always have heightened senses on. Nothing can possibly go wrong.
Later. Yeah, we're all gonna need breaks and breathers.
I've never seen anything like it, have you?
I've had to exhume a few old bodies over the years, but I never thought I'd stumble across a cemetery full of them in an apartment downtown.
Doesn't sound great. Into the dressing room. Right, we are now in a safe zone. So I could obfuscate here. Is there anything in here to poke beforehand, or is this just a cupboard for me to duck into? This is just a cupboard. Why can't I activate Unseen Passage? No, I press the Unseen Passage button. Game, you give me nothing. I guess safe zones also mean I could lure somebody back here to feed.
We're gonna need backup.
That is a totally cool and non-creepy painting. I mean, it is the first part of those.
Stop! You can't come through here!
Hi, I live in the building and I was told to come give a statement.
You need to go down to the precinct to give your statement, ma'am. Only law enforcement is allowed here.
Oh, I hadn't understood that. Thank you.
Have a pleasant evening.
Only law enforcement and small children who don't exist. Obfuscate. Prohibited areas. Some areas are prohibited if you don't have the right ID, but you can enter them in secret using Mask of 1,000 Faces. Ah, see, I was getting ahead of myself. Allows you to copy a character's general appearance, may give you access to new zones and dialogue options, however you may not impersonate a specific character. Hold Control. Copy uniform. Oh, wait, no, hold space, copy uniform.
Great. Now I just need to find a secluded spot.
We too can be traffic control.
This should do the trick.
Seamless. My new infiltration plan, I will just have a sign that says, "Totally the police." Yes, I just talked to you. What of it?
Sorry, but we got a full house. Officers tripping over each other already.
Only forensics is allowed in the crime scene.
And the feds have caught.
Can I see forensics
Just
or
in case you needed help.
federal uniform, please? Can I see either of them from here? Right, so if I go back in there... Mask of 1,000 vests, yeah. Let me... Cloak Shadows.
This isn't rocket science. Keep it simple.
I'll update the guys. You're taking over the investigation, and we'll put all the stabbing victims in crates and send them out to the balcony.
Exactly.
You there.
Idea what happened? It's gotta be some kind of cult, right?
Homicide officer. Love it. Add that to my wardrobe. Step back into my dressing room. Have a moment.
Richard, he sensed me. He's here. But something's wrong.
He's telling me to run, so I of course will not do that. There you go. I can't believe it just changes your clothes. That's very funny.
Good evening, officer.
Gentlemen. All these bodies.
It's me.
What the hell happened?
Homicide cop woman.
Body bags. What could that mean?
What do you mean, what could that mean? It means dead people. That's what you put in a body bag. Bodies.
Body bags. What could that mean?
Oh my god. Why did we send her to this party? Brilliant deductive mind.
I just got here. Can you fill me in?
I've never seen anything like it.
I look like such a
Real
cop,
bloodbath
it's true.
in there.
Do we know what happened?
Captain Paulson thinks it looks like some kind of goddamn cult. But I
Not
heard
not.
the feds talking about terrorists.
Also not.
The feds are here already?
Yeah.
They showed up the minute we
Some
got
of this
here.
facial animation, I
We
swear
didn't
to
even
god.
get a chance to see everything.
How'd they get here so fast?
They know who did it, obviously.
Body bags, what could that mean? You know, a member of the homicide team? Yeah, exactly.
Do you really think it's terrorists?
It's weird.
Leisha,
but
calm your face
hey,
down,
could be.
please.
There are guys who are burned to a crisp, dismembered, beaten to a
I think you're
pulp.
weirding Officer Newman
For
out.
those guys, you can expect anything these days.
Yes, there's a lot of cult crime going on in New York. This isn't New York, this is Boston. Anyway.
What do we know about all these bodies?
Those are the ones we can take down already. The ones that were stabbed in the chest need to be put in crates and moved to the balcony. The feds will
Or
process them.
unstabbed
We are
in the
not allowed to
chest.
touch them.
Selectively.
Stabbed how?
Looks like some kind of sacrifice. They all got stabbed in the heart, it looks like. But if you want to
Is
make
it
yourself
still in
useful,
there?
go see Paulson.
Where is he?
You just missed him. He just went into the living room.
Okay, thanks. I'm gonna take a look around.
This disguise is seamless. I could lure him to... Oh, you are a weird plastic man.
Sorry, but I'm busy.
Well, in that case... Wait, is holding F there going to just feed on him in public? I can't remember the controls. Ah. Not listed. Right. I can't remember the mechanic. Because, I mean, that's got an arrow pointing towards the safe zone icon.
We're not gonna be done for a while.
And I can't just save scum.
Follow me.
Okay.
It will take a minute.
Right away.
Where the Christ are we? Remembered how to do that just in time. Okay, cool. Phlegmatic resonance, XP bonus for disciplines. Love it. Hello, I know I keep walking in and out of this door, but I'm totally legit. Nobody asked me where Officer Brookheimer went, because I don't know. I don't even know who that is.
Casings everywhere. All of them large caliber.
Forensic genius. These big bullet casings probably came from big bullets. Police line, do not cross. Cross. That's very stretchy police line.
There's so much blood.
Oh, well, good thing I fed.
I sense you're losing control.
It's all this blood. I need to focus.
Mom? Are you...
Freaking out at the sight of blood, you know, like a homicide.
Yes.
Oh.
Don't worry about me, Pumpkin.
Mom, please? I'm going to be sick. All this blood, it feels so
No misses allowed. Calm your beast.
She feels as bad as I do.
Wonder why that could be.
leave, Mom. I'm scared.
I mean, I've got a ton of willpower. But as I focus, she gets stronger as well. I wonder why that could be. At 46%, that's not a lot. I guess. Empathy, go. Empathy not successful.
I don't like it either, Sugarfangs. But your mother has a job to do. You understand?
If you're scared too, then why don't we just leave?
Because Hazel asked me to do this.
I like Hazel. She lets me come with you. But there are too many people here. And they're all torn and broken.
We have no choice.
Can't you feel all that blood everywhere? Are we going to be hungry like this the whole time?
We'll figure something out. Say, I was thinking...
Okay, what are the consequences of losing this confrontation?
I know. I miss our games.
Why don't you think up a riddle for Mom to solve?
Okay.
Hunger like that. Not now. Not here.
I mean, we've already fed on one car.
A vessel with more holes in him than a junkie. We're off to a good start.
I mean, that's not generally how junkies work. They tend to my knowledge, restrict the number of holes. Drugs don't get better the more times you stab yourself.
Somebody spilled wine here.
But we can track the wine. It goes into the one room we haven't been into yet. Shocking. Many peoples. Hello there.
Why don't you ask the captain?
I don't know. What am I asking the captain?
A reinforced container that locks from the outside.
Can I step over it?
Mortal bodies.
No, this is an impenetrable barrier until I go and ask the captain. Got it.
A glass of wine with traces of cherry-flavored lip gloss.
How do you know what flavor it is? Stop tasting evidence, Leisha. We could track that as well, but I mean, we've already got the one thing tracking.
Donors were killed here. And not just one.
Such deductions you can make by looking at blood. People killed here.
Blood.
Thanks. There's a premonition here. Well, let's just look at it with our mortal eyes first.
Richard Dunham.
Oh, it's Richard's bag.
It's one of his old briefcases. I recognize it. A floppy disk. Another relic. What could be on it?
Only one way to find out.
It could be important.
We eat it. Wait, no, not that. And a cassette.
Maybe I'll find something I can play it with.
Hopefully. And now let's have a vision. Come on. We're gonna need to find a new safe zone to feed on another cop. Triangular corridor. Clock, paintings. It's just coming up to 4 o'clock. So helpful. Thank you, Brain.
Why do I see it?
I could see presumably the same premonition for another 2 hunger. I will not do that. Already the hunger is excessive.
I'll stay here, Mom.
Okay. At least she has the sense to whisper to her hallucinated kid around other people.
Guys.
Oh hey, they've got the shining
Listen up.
carpet.
The feds are taking over the investigation. So don't touch a thing. Put all the stiffs with stakes through their hearts out on the balcony. They'll take care of it. All right, go. You know what you have to do.
Shit. I have to find Richard and fast.
All said and done, it's probably better that the feds are handling this case. They have more resources to solve it.
Yeah, and the means to analyze everything we've already taken out to them on the balcony.
Yeah. Okay, we can't deduce, but we can look at the wound.
Looks like it was made by a shotgun blast. And we're not talking 12 gauge, but something bigger.
I mean, all the large caliber shells were kind of clear
Sure
there.
there would be no survivors.
Only federal operatives and their assets are allowed in this area. Sorry.
We'll be here all night.
Hey, Central Dispatch sent me over to help.
Captain Paulson. But you can call me Chief.
Sure thing, Chief.
Right. You heard the orders?
Sure.
Everything we find at the scene needs to be shown to the feds.
Got it, Chief.
And the balcony is off limits.
We can psychoanalyze you.
But you
Oh yeah,
seem
their
too
focus
thrilled
chance
about
goes
that?
up the more you skill on
Am
them.
I wrong?
Is it so obvious, officer? It's the first time in my entire career, and 30 years is a long time, that I feel like we're babysitting a crime scene.
Babysitting?
We've been ordered to secure
Can
the
you take
premises,
care of a
lend
child?
our experts, and not ask any questions.
But why can't we go outside?
The feds got here first. It's their rodeo. They secured that area to store whatever they decide to collect.
To get here that fast, they must have known.
What they'd find. Exactly. Good
Oh no, a
point,
conspiracy, says
Usually,
member of the conspiracy.
They show up after us if it's a new case, right? Because we're the ones who call them.
But that wasn't the case this time.
Not at all. They even seemed annoyed to see us show up. But then they must have thought it's nice to have help processing the scene and collecting evidence.
So,
all right.
Either the feds are a camp plant, or they're Second Inquisition, and we are in a lot more trouble.
So, what do we know so far?
Lots of Vicks. It has all the makings of a drug deal gone down.
Everyone here is called Vic.
He's not buying it. But you have your doubts?
I do. There's too many things that don't add up.
Like what, Chief?
Bodies in accelerated decomposition. Even some skeletal remains.
Shit. Kindred were destroyed.
My hunch is that the feds are investigating a cult. But it's none of our business.
Everything here fits with it being vampires, so it's probably a cult.
Thanks for walking me through it, Chief.
You report it to them if you find anything suspicious. Okay? I don't
Sure,
know.
where can I find them? No reason. Hey, we got willpower back. Love getting willpower back. I am following this scent trail. Not sure why. This is a lot of blood. Like, how's the... You just teleported and we all saw it.
Shit. It's starting again.
Mom, are you okay? Do you feel weird too?
We've already had that talk, Halsey, my love. Don't look at it. So, have you come up with another riddle for me?
Yes.
Another confrontation.
I'm listening.
No miss allowed,
It's not
but
too
what
hard,
did
is
it do
No.
last time?
Riddle me this.
Okay, I can do
I
riddles.
fear the sun more than anything, and the mortals have been fighting me since forever. If they catch me, they keep me in a box. Who am I?
I mean, that's just Kindred. Right? Or fear the sun more than anything would traditionally be darkness, but if they find me, they keep me in a box. I mean, yeah, it's just Kindred.
That reminds me of us. The sun, the box.
Is that your final answer?
Final answer, the Kindred.
Oh no, Mom. Wrong answer.
Well, I got baited.
Cold. It's kept in the fridge, and the vessels don't like it. That's a pretty good one, don't you think?
Sure, yeah, I
Wow.
kind of half saw that, yeah.
That was way off. Halsey scores one more
I
point.
thought that was right and then took myself out of it in my brain,
But I
as is the
haven't said
word,
my last
as is the
word.
way.
I'm not giving up.
Are you feeling funny too? Are you hungry?
Are you about to frenzy in a building full of
Let's
cops?
just keep playing. Ugh, the hunger. It's too strong. Damn it.
Aha, a safe zone. Psychometry. Ooh.
Lavender soap.
That's also a scent I could track. I've just tracked that lip gloss to here.
Somebody spilled wine on this bag.
Oh no, it was the wine I tracked, that was it.
A pouch stained with wine. Kamiko Izanami. Now I remember. She turns vessels into marionettes during parties.
That sure is. Two Japanese mythological figures. Neither of which is particularly a surname, but hey.
Miley was supposed to speak. Or rather, flatter Hazel.
Dear elders, dearest guests, we're gathered here today to celebrate a day that will go down in history, the day of our union. One day, Hazel told me, Miley, soon I will unite Boston and Hartford, and together, we'll make the Camarilla more powerful than it has ever been. I believed in her, you believed in her, and we were right. We dreamed about this, and she made it happen. On behalf of everyone here, thank you, my prince. Now, I'd like to let our guest of honour, Janab Osborne from the Hartford Chantry, say a few words. I mean, short speech. I'll give it that.
A cigar.
Correct. And that's a hairdryer. I can name objects too. Cool, that trail didn't tell us a huge amount. I guess... I don't know. I guess it was just to lead us here so that we could track the soap. Oh, hello.
Huh, a cotton towel.
In a bathroom.
Smells like lavender soap and wine. Someone must have tried to mop up a stain with it.
You think? It's a towel. Anyway, this is a safe zone, so at least I can go and eat another cod. Keep my child beast down a bit.
So what are you gonna tell us?
Hello there, fellow forensician. I can't feed on you. I could feed on the chief. I'm the chief now.
Follow me. It will take a minute.
Alright.
Now I get to claim practice over the cops, right? That's how this works? Do we have to watch this every time? Got 7. Didn't fill the gauge. I'll take it. Running it close, but then we needed it because there's so many opportunities around here for us to use disciplines. Talent gained, controlled hunt. Oh yeah, I forgot about the talents thing, whereas you do things you get better at them. 1 additional hunger eliminated on a controlled hunt. Neat. And using dominate will using any of my skills or anything will make me better at it, which makes sense. Alright, now that I am down to 1 hunger, let's get some more hunger. Let's see what psychometry is like.
Don't cry. People's gonna kill me. An idiot.
These vessels can't hold their liquor. They've gone from giddy to drunk in less than an hour.
Hazel's gonna kill me. She lent it to me for the party.
Wait, try using soap. It's better than nothing.
Why does one of these people get...
It won't come off.
not get subtitles?
Miley, don't cry. I'll ask one of my servants to take care of it.
I'm assuming that's Himiko.
Okay, thanks. I'm going to go finish my cigar outside. I'm too nervous.
Good idea. If that will help you relax, I'll join you out on the balcony.
Miley, I'm on the right track.
Well, yeah. And now, let's track it. And at some point, I would love to find a Fed.
Can someone come and bag a briefcase in the kitchen?
A briefcase? Shit out of luck. I'm out of large-size evidence bags. We got backup on the way. They'll have
There are choices. So bad at those.
Sorry, only forensics can go in there.
Am I not forensics? Oh, okay. I should be forensics. Are you forensics?
They're gonna run out of room at the morgue, that's for sure.
No, I think you are just a guy.
Only federal operatives and their assets are allowed in this area. Sorry.
I'm not spending 2 hunger to listen to one conversation.
We'll be here for a while.
Quick, I need to find a forensics person so that I may be a forensics person. I'm a very quick learner.
Got any room left in there?
Well, let's look around the kitchen, I guess.
What do we have here?
Tons of evidence. Do you know if the team from Forensics LPU has shown up yet?
No, I don't.
I need them to process the briefcase I found. And the invoice that was with it.
An invoice?
Yeah, for some glass tubes. Address to some warehouse over on Sellers Street.
Shit. There's a red salon in that district. We've got to hand it all over to the feds. I can do it if...
I already gave them the address. They'll probably send a team to investigate when they're done here.
I've got to warn Hazel.
It's probably bad. Aha! Hello, forensics person. I'm you now.
The wall was literally blown apart.
I probably shouldn't psychometry everything, just because 2 hunger at a pop is a lot.
A briefcase.
What
Jason's
is it?
briefcase?
It's
Don't
a
have
small
code for that.
suitcase. We put important papers in, Pumpkin.
That's not important right now.
It's the code for a body they must have picked up.
Yeah.
Pinot Noir. I think I used to like this wine.
That's the important thing. At least we're regaining our very generic taste for wine.
A
Hello,
vessel.
corpse.
Dead.
And phone handcuffed to them.
A bracelet. No, that's a broken
Or,
handcuff.
oh, no, they were handcuffed to the briefcase and now. Yeah. Miss Iverson, code 7246. Please leave my message. For Mr. Underwood, code 5593, and don't forget to delete my message this time. Code 6159, and delete my message, otherwise I go to woo next time. Thanks, Jason. Good info sec. Wait, what was the code? I just read it. 6159. I mean, I should probably...
How upscale the place is.
Not open it in front of the other cop. I should probably go and re-cloak the forensics person. Did I see a interact point there? No, sure didn't. Hello, I look very generic, don't I? Don't think too hard about it. Halsey, whatever you're doing, stop it. Now I am forensics, the destroyer of, well, probably evidence.
So what are you gonna tell us?
Let me...
There's a name engraved on it.
Yes, correct.
More. That rings a bell.
Yeah, that's literally... Okay.
Sorry, I've got work here.
Okay, well, so have I. Why is there this massive screen on the fridge? Americans.
Don't break anything. The owner's gonna be thrilled.
Oh, I've only just noticed the time. 1 second. Audio's gonna drop out for a moment. As I delay our ads slightly to give me some time to wrap the stream up. I know. Lovely bit of inside baseball for you all there. I'm very professional. Right, 6159. Oh, and I just noticed also in the pause menu it shows me how many safe zones are in this level. There's 3 and I've already used 2 of them. I am being somewhat cavalier. Ah, if I had more obfuscate I could just conceal the object. That's neat.
A needs a code. Let's
Yes,
see
they
what's
have
in
the
it.
code.
Supplier invoices, client files, all in Beryl Underwood's name.
I'll just have this evidence. Suspicious items. Some items and documents are a threat to the Masquerade if they're left in enemy hands. Make sure you recover them or destroy them, otherwise suspicion will increase.
Better not leave that here. Otherwise they'll trace it back to us.
There is nothing else here.
There's so much blood sprayed everywhere.
You know what? I think that might be as good a place as any to finish for now. So, we will be back to our totally legitimate forensics career on Thursday. But now it's just time for the wrap-up. So, as ever, thanks for coming. Thanks for staying to the end. If you have, it means a lot. If you've been watching, you know how to find me, but just in case, this is twitch.tv/Serasent, that's SERASENT, the House of Hubris, streaming here every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday at 2 PM British time, that is 9 AM Eastern, 6 Pacific. Other time zones are available, but you'll have to do the maths, and hey, if you don't want to do the maths, why not just follow us and get notifications whenever I'm around. Also, before I forget, I want to send big thanks to the team at Big Bad Wolf, I didn't mention that at the start, for providing this copy of the game, and for, you know, being so patient with the fact that I, you know, couldn't play it for the last 3-4 months. Got there in the end. Yeah, if you do miss anything on the stream, VODs are on Twitch for 8 weeks after the fact. For everything else, you can go to the YouTube. Link is down there, or it is youtube.com/@HouseofHubris, where you can find everything going back to the very start of the channel, which is, as we've established, 30-some months, which is a lot. So hey, go check those out, and you should find something you'll enjoy, and hey, if you don't, why not let me know what would be. While you're there, please consider subscribing. It helps me make number go up, but more importantly, it helps you have hot, fresh VODs in your subscription feed every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, assuming they're still uploading, and I haven't run out of buffer yet. I'm very professional, once again. If you feel like supporting my rapid advance through the police monetarily, you can, of course, subscribe or cheer on Twitch, but you very much don't need to. Just turn up and hang out and be chill and be good to each other, and then everyone's having a good time. If you want to find me elsewhere on the internet, again, socials are all down there, or that is Twitter @House of Hubris, Mastodon @houseofhubris@kind.social, or Blue Sky houseofhubris.bsky.social, where you find me doing all the social media things and, yeah, stream notifications, all of those things. You know, what people use a Twitter or other Twitter alternative for. Was there anything else? I don't know. I've probably forgot something. You can probably just find me around on the internet. I'm not particularly hard to trace. And yeah, also follow my socials for more information on the podcasts I am going to be in the near future, because they are going to be absolutely great, I promise you. I'm very excited. I think that's everything. So, love to you all once again, and yeah, I will be back for more vampiring. That's not how you pronounce anything, Emma. Vampiring. Yeah, on Thursday. I'm going to stop saying words now. Alright. Love you all, and bye.